There's a reason the most powerful men in history mastered self-control, especially when it came to women. The Stoics understood that how a man conducts himself around women can define his character, his success, and even his legacy. Yet today, many men make critical mistakes that weaken their power, compromise their integrity, and cost them deeply in life and relationships. If you want to be the kind of man who commands respect and moves through life with purpose, pay close attention, because these are the things men should never do with women. And before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to help our journey grow. Your support means everything, and make sure to watch till the end, because the last point might just change your entire perspective. Number 1, never seek validation from women. A man who seeks validation from women has already lost his power. When you constantly look for approval, whether it's through compliments, attention, or chasing after their affection, you give away control over your own sense of worth. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus warned against placing your happiness in the hands of others. If a woman's opinion of you dictates how you feel about yourself, you're not in control of your life. She is. Consider a man who bends over backward to impress a woman, constantly checking his phone for her messages or changing his personality just to fit her preferences. He is no longer living for himself, but for her approval. And the irony? The more you seek validation, the less attractive you become. Women respect men who stand firm in their identity, not those who desperately chase attention. Instead of looking to women for validation, focus on building self-respect. Develop skills, master your emotions, and become a man of value. When you stop seeking approval, you naturally earn respect. Not just from women, but from everyone. Number 2, don't prioritize women over your purpose. One of the greatest downfalls of men throughout history has been abandoning their purpose for the sake of a woman. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, constantly reminded himself to remain focused on duty rather than distractions. A man's purpose is his guiding force. Without it, he is lost. Think of the man who sacrifices his dreams and ambitions because he is afraid of losing a woman. He skips workouts, neglects his business, and lets go of his personal goals, thinking that by doing so, he will keep her happy. But the truth is, when a man abandons his purpose, he loses the very thing that made him attractive in the first place. Your purpose should always come first. Whether it's your career, your health, or your personal development, these are the things that define you as a man. A strong woman respects a man who has direction and discipline. Never trade your future for temporary comfort. If she truly values you, she will respect your mission. Number 3, avoid emotional reactivity. A man who cannot control his emotions is easily manipulated. Stoicism teaches that true strength lies in emotional mastery. Seneca once said, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." This is especially true in how men handle conflict and challenges with women. Consider a man who loses his temper during an argument, raising his voice or reacting impulsively. In that moment, he is no longer in control. His emotions are. Women, whether consciously or subconsciously, test men to see if they can remain composed under pressure. A man who reacts emotionally is seen as weak and unstable. Instead of reacting, respond. When faced with drama, criticism, or emotional manipulation, take a step back. Breathe. Think. The man who can maintain his composure, even in difficult situations, commands respect. Emotional control is not just about handling relationships. It's about handling life itself. Number 4, never put women on a pedestal. Men who place women above themselves create an unhealthy dynamic that only leads to disappointment. Stoicism teaches that all people, no matter how beautiful or charming, are simply human, flawed and imperfect like everyone else. Placing a woman on a pedestal only blinds you to reality. Many men fall into the trap of idolizing a woman, thinking she is the key to their happiness. They believe that if they just do everything right, she will reward them with love and admiration. But when a woman senses that a man views her as his ultimate prize, she loses respect for him. No woman wants to be worshipped. She wants to be with a man who sees her as an equal, not a goddess. The solution is to maintain perspective. Respect women, but do not idealize them. See them for who they are, people with strengths and weaknesses, just like you. When you stop placing women on a pedestal, you interact with them from a place of confidence, not desperation. Number 5, never compromise your standards. A man without standards is a man without self-respect. Too many men lower their expectations just to be with a woman, accepting poor treatment, disrespect, or a lack of effort because they are afraid of being alone. The Stoics believe that your values define you, and if you abandon them for the sake of another, you are betraying yourself. Imagine a man who tolerates disloyalty, excuses bad behavior, or stays in a toxic relationship out of fear. Every time he accepts something that goes against his principles, he weakens his own foundation. A man with strong standards sets the tone for how he will be treated, and he walks away when those standards are not met. Know what you stand for and never compromise it. Whether it's integrity, loyalty, or respect, hold yourself and the people in your life to high standards. A man who refuses to settle will naturally attract better relationships and a stronger sense of self-worth. Number 6, never overshare your weaknesses too soon. Vulnerability has its place, but oversharing your weaknesses with a woman too early can backfire. Stoicism teaches that a man should first master his struggles before exposing them to others. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic leaders, endured hardships in silence, understanding that complaining about struggles to the wrong people weakens one's position. Many men make the mistake of using women as their emotional therapists, thinking that revealing all their insecurities will make them more relatable or attractive. Instead, it often has the opposite effect. While a mature woman may appreciate honesty, unloading personal struggles too soon can create an imbalance. She may start seeing you as someone who needs saving rather than someone who can lead. This doesn't mean you should hide everything or suppress your emotions. Instead, build inner resilience first. Share your struggles with trusted mentors, close friends, or in private reflection. When you do open up to a woman, do so with strength, not as a plea for sympathy, but as a lesson in how you are overcoming obstacles. A man who owns his weaknesses without being consumed by them commands far more respect. Number 7, don't try to buy her love. A man who believes he can win a woman's heart with gifts, expensive dates, or financial support misunderstands the nature of attraction. Seneca, a wealthy Stoic philosopher, warned against using material wealth to gain favor, as it often creates relationships built on dependence rather than genuine connection. Think of the man who constantly showers a woman with gifts, hoping she will stay loyal to him because of his generosity. What happens when the gifts stop? If a relationship is built on what you provide rather than who you are, it's not a relationship, it's a transaction. And transactional love never lasts. Instead of spending money to impress, invest in yourself. Develop your mind, your health, and your skills. A man who brings value beyond his wallet is infinitely more attractive. If a woman truly values you, she will appreciate your presence more than your presence. Number 8, never chase after someone who's indifferent. One of the most damaging things a man can do is waste time and energy pursuing a woman who does not reciprocate his interest. The Stoics believed in the power of detachment, focusing only on what is within your control. And one thing you cannot control is someone else's feelings. Picture a man who repeatedly texts a woman who barely responds, or constantly tries to prove himself to someone who shows no interest. He is fighting a losing battle. By chasing someone who doesn't value him, he is telling the world that he does not value himself. A woman who is truly interested in you will make it known. She will engage, reciprocate, and show effort. If she is indifferent, walk away with dignity. No explanation is needed. No dramatic exit, just a quiet, confident departure. A man who values his time and energy will never beg for attention. Number 9, don't let lust control you. Many great men have fallen because they allowed their desires to dictate their decisions. History is full of leaders, warriors, and thinkers who destroyed their own legacy by indulging in pleasure without restraint. The Stoics warned against being controlled by impulses, emphasizing discipline over desire. Lust is a powerful force, and if a man is not careful, it can lead him into bad relationships, distractions, and even dangerous situations. Think of the man who repeatedly chooses women based on looks alone, ignoring red flags and obvious character flaws. He may find himself in toxic relationships, wasting time and energy on people who do not align with his values. True strength isn't discipline. Attraction is natural, but control over your desires is what separates strong men from weak ones. Choose wisely. Build connections based on respect, intelligence, and shared values, not just physical attraction. A man who masters his desires is a man who masters his life. Number 10, never let a woman's opinion define you. A man who changes who he is to fit a woman's preferences loses himself in the process. Stoicism teaches that external opinions should not dictate your self-worth. Epictetus famously said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This means standing firm in your beliefs, even if it means being misunderstood. Many men adjust their personalities, interests, and even values just to please a woman. They change their style, their habits, or their opinions, hoping to gain approval. But a man who constantly adapts himself to someone else's expectations is no longer living his own life. He is living someone else's. The strongest men are those who remain true to their principles, regardless of who is watching. A woman's respect is not earned by compliance, but by conviction. Be the kind of man who stands firm in who he is, no matter who enters or exits his life. A man's greatest power lies in his discipline, his purpose, and his ability to remain in control of his own life. Never overshare your weaknesses. Never try to buy love. Never chase indifference. Never let lust dictate your choices, and never let a woman's opinion define you. These lessons are not about relationships alone. They're about becoming the kind of man who earns respect in all areas of life. If you've made it this far, let me know in the comments which of these resonated with you the most. And if you found value in this, don't forget to like and subscribe to help our journey grow. Until next time, stay strong, stay disciplined, and keep moving forward.